depression is no child's play. It is a mental illness, and it should be taken seriously. Depression is a long-term illness.
And they say at least 1 hour before you go to bed, like your spouse or whatever. You know, this.
How do you avoid a spouse?
I'm just saying.
Shut him in the bathroom.
Yeah.
A lot of screen time is bad for your skin. It makes you age faster.
When you're eating food that's not good for you, begin to have a negative thought towards that food.
Yeah.
If people are negative, get away from it.
Yeah.
You gotta start early and start small.
Let's chill. Hey, Chaplin chillers. Hola. Namaste. Sanibonani. Goeiedag. Well, we are on a new episode.
Yes.
And we're gonna have a great one this week. It's a bit of a tense topic to talk about because it's a personal experience as well for me. And we're talking about what are we talking about?
How to avoid deep depression.
Absolutely. Because you know when you're going through depression, and like I said, it's personal for me. This is
personal.
Like, depression is no child's play. It is a mental illness, and it should be taken seriously. Because when you're going through depression, everything, it feels challenging. Even just, the little things that people take lightly, getting out of bed can be
daunting, right?
Daunting. You feel like you just want to be in bed all the time, and you don't want to talk to anybody, and you just don't want to socialize with no friends because you're just not in the mood to talk. All you want to do is cry all day, every day. Your world feels so dark. And the saddest part of that is that it usually happens to the people that we least expect. People that bring our lights, the strong friends, the strong family members. And that's why most often we don't really recognize it because it usually affects the stronger people. But I think this episode, we really want to share with the chillers ways or tools on how to actually overcome these symptoms and avoid going into deep depression.
Yeah, be aware.
Be aware when it pops up and know how to handle and manage it because it can lead to death. Most people that go through depression, they have suicidal thoughts. Probably 8 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10, have suicidal thoughts. And majority of them end up taking their own lives. And we've lost so many lives due to mental illness and just depression alone. And I feel like this is really the platform for us to just talk about these things because the church is not talking about it. Our families are not talking about it. It's like still a taboo subject, which it shouldn't be because mental illness is really a real thing.
Yes,
a real thing. And I thank God that he preserved my life and I didn't really end up doing the deed in taking my life, otherwise we would never have met.
Yes.
More than 12 years ago, it's almost 12 years now, I really wanted to end it all because life felt so overwhelming. And the sad part is that I had not known anybody who had taken their lives, my cousin brother, but I don't think for him it was depression. He was into drugs, but due to mental illness, nobody I knew did it because they just felt overwhelmed by life. But as I learned and went through the tools that we're gonna share, I know now how to deal with it, and I know when it's trying to
trigger.
Right.
The triggers.
The triggers. And that's why I thought, let us do this topic because it's gonna help so many people out there who are in the shoes that I was in. And the thing that I also want to highlight as we talk about this is that depression is a long-term illness.
Yes.
It's forever there. You might not be taking meds like myself because I took them for a month and they just made me feel like a robot and I threw them out, but I did go for counseling and stuff like that. I don't recommend that. to some people because some people really need them to function, but it's a lifelong illness because it's mental. And these things pop up every now and then. So let's go into it. Let's jump into it.
But I would like to add too, because we we're about that bag. You know what I'm saying? We're about getting that bag, but also we want to make sure that not only we getting that bag, because it's important to be financially free, because it will alleviate a lot of stress that we go through financially.
Like they say, I'd rather go through that stress in a Lamborghini, my darling, in the mansion, than having it in a project.
That's a whole nother level. But still, we want it. But what's the point of getting it and then still losing your life and still being miserable? So why we big on
while we secure let's secure our mental health.
And not just that, we're all about that total man. Securing holistically. This is what this podcast is about, being holistically better. We're about being better financially, physically, spiritually, relationally,
and mentally.
So emotionally, so all these different things. We want to be holistically better.
In your marriage, in your home, in your business,
everywhere.
In your job. Like everywhere.
Yes, you want. So this is what this podcast was formed, where it came about. We wanted to help those individuals where we had to show you different strategies and tools so that we can improve our everyday life.
Yeah.
And the whole total man, spiritual life, because we are spiritual people, spiritual beings. Yeah. So we're gonna, we do
everything is linked to spiritual.
Spiritual, yes, we do, push word and scripture out there because we is spiritual, but also we want to be, reverent with different topics, and so that we can be not, because like I said, a lot of stuff is not taught in the church. It is taboo. Different topics like sexuality and finances, and mental health. Or we all focus on salvation, but we leave out everything else.
Absolutely.
And so we feel like this is the time that we ask you to talk about everything, because all this is in the Bible.
Yes.
If you actually study your Bible, you will find everything that we talk about in the podcast, we can find in the Bible.
Yes. Now let's jump onto our tools that are going to help you overcome depression or see the symptoms when they try to come at you. Because sometimes you might think that, it's not for me. No, don't. It never say never. Okay, number one, I think you have to take control of your stress levels, because that's where depression actually gets, it's like a loophole, where depression is like, I got you, so that those stress levels can really, really create problems.
Yes.
And they also excrete, when you're going through stress, they excrete, there's a hormone called I believe the cortisol. And that's a stress hormone that gets released. And they say it's good in a short term. Because it releases those sugar, glucose stuff that you need to it's like a happy pill, but only for a short period of time. So if you depressed for a much longer period, this thing keeps producing itself, because the body is trying to heal itself, right? But longer term, it's bad, because now it then kicks in depression, because the body can't take this amount of level of this cortisol. It's too much, and it usually leads to people having diabetes,
high blood
pressure, and all these sort of diseases that you really don't want. So minimize as much as possible your stress levels.
Yes. So we this is when you have to begin to understand what actually make you stressful.
Yeah.
Being aware of different things that make you stressful, so that you can okay, this thing is bothering me. So try not to do this thing that's very stressful.
Yeah. Or even just avoiding people that stress you out.
Yes, avoiding people, or if it's like your spouse or whatever. This.
How do you avoid a spouse?
But I'm just saying.
Shut him in the bathroom.
But
or divorce him.
No, we don't encourage that, and no divorce. But but here's the thing too, right? This is why it's very important to know your spouse, because when you learn your spouse, you understand what makes that spouse very stressed. You know, certain things I understand. I know what my wife like, and I know what she don't like. You know?
A dirty home is a big no that stresses me out.
Yeah, but certain things. So, but when you know your spouse, you know. You try to stay away from those things that will stress your spouse out. So be aware of things that really make you stressful and try to eliminate it. And sometimes even if you have to go away from negative, stressful things and stressful situations, you know, or stressful workplaces, then you could even like your job. Your job is the biggest stress because a lot of times people go to work with at job they don't want to do.
No, that's why most people call Monday Blue Monday, because now it's reality of going back to a job that they hate.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're doing that thing that you don't like, it's really a job. It's work.
Yes.
You know, but when you do something that you enjoy, it's not work. It's a hobby, you know.
It's fun.
It's fun, and you look forward to doing it over and over again. So yeah, I think the takeaway from this is that, you know, just be self-aware.
Be self-aware. Be self-aware of whatever the thing that, and this is why we say we always encourage to chase your passion.
Yeah.
To find what you love to do.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a situation that you don't like and it's causing you stress, that means sometimes you need to find another way.
Absolutely.
To bring down the stress, because going to that job you pass away, you leave or whatever. Or
they will replace you like this.
They replace
That's
you.
enough, because you're just a number.
Yes.
You know, to them, you're just an employee number, another employee number, and you see it when people pass away due to work stress. A replacement goes out like immediately. We're not saying that they must wait for a whole year and mourn you, but we're just trying to say that you are replaceable.
Yes.
You know, you are not indispensable. And so don't act like you are. Like, oh, if I don't go to work, what would my job do? They'll live. That's fine. Trust me. They'll go on. It won't crumble because of your absence. It didn't crumble before you came to join them, right? So it won't crumble if you're taking a day off because you feel like your body needs it. Because our body will tell us.
Yes.
Our body will tell us, right?
Yes.
So I think also that leads into getting proper rest, because your body will tell you when it's exhausted.
Yes.
I know mine. I get very grumpy. You don't want to be next to me when I'm tired.
Yeah.
I think the children have experienced it in some of our episodes. And I'll be like, I don't want to do this. I'm too tired. Because the body will tell you.
Yes.
And your mind will be shutting down, and you know your energy levels shut down. So just listen to your body.
Yes, because you know, like I said, when you not restful, you know, you do start snapping.
Right.
You start snapping at people for no reason, you know, because
body's tired.
Your body's tired.
You're not thinking clearly and properly, and
Yes.
that's why some doctors will say get a good night's rest, because that can just be a cure on its own.
Yes.
Water and a good night's rest.
And
you don't even need
rest.
pills sometimes, you know, and because when you're not getting a good night's rest, this means either you're going through what do they call when you can't sleep at night?
Sleep apnea.
That, but I wanted another word for it. When
Sleep disorder.
That too, but there's another word. Insomnia.
Insomnia, yes. Insomnia, yes.
When you have, or when you're just sleeping all the time, and it's a struggle to get out of bed. These are signs that something is not right with your mental situation. And seeing a therapist is no more taboo. Seeing a therapist is actually the best thing you can do for your life.
Best thing. Yes, seeing a therapist is the best thing. Yes.
Because sometimes you just need to talk. That's
yes.
it. Right. And one recommendation I would say is, you know, just so that you have a restful night, is turn off those electronics. Turn off that cell phone.
And they say at least 1 hour before you go to bed.
Yes. And don't touch it the first thing you get up in the morning.
And really, that's the thing. They say 1 hour before you go to bed and 1 hour when you wake up, because you gotta understand that blue light.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
UV light.
That you what it is? UV light. That UV light, because you gotta understand, if you have that on before you go to bed, it's triggering something in your brain that causes you to wake up.
Yeah.
So that's why.
And it's even bad for your skin. You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Screen time, a lot of screen time
Uh-huh.
is bad for your skin. It makes you age faster.
Yeah, because the rays and all the different things that's inside, I want to put it past it.
Yeah.
And so that's why, because that you really like have rays inside of it, and then it triggering things in your brain. And so when you go to bed, you're gonna wake up a lot earlier because the rays is triggering things in your brain.
I think the best thing to do is put your phone on silence. But
put it in another room.
Put it in, well, maybe not in another room, but far away if you have to get up and get it.
But you got to put it in another room. Put it in another room.
For a person like you, yes, another room would be desirable. But also, what I want to say is, a person like myself who listens to meditation and goes to sleep with that, I know that all my notifications are turned off. You know, so that it's only meditation, you know, that's playing in the background. Nothing is going cuckoo, because when that thing goes cuckoo, guess what? I want to take and check. And that's why social media does that. They have the cuckoos going all the time. You know, because they know that your mind is going to think, I wonder who's texting me. I wonder who's putting a picture. You know, so just shut it off. It's worth it. Because it allows you to have a good 8-hour sleep. 7 to 8 hours a night is the perfect hours to sleep. If you sleep less than that, sometimes your body really can catch up to it.
Yes. Unless you're that type of person that don't need 7. But I think all persons need 7.
They do, but I mean, some bodies adjust to the 6 to the 5. But if you really want a restful full night's sleep, 7 to 8 hours is recommended.
Because that's when your hormones actually begin to develop. It's at nighttime in that restful state. Your hormone levels, this when is, you know, forming, developing, and doing things at nighttime when sleeping. Yeah.
So before we go to our next point, I want to say, if you have not subscribed to our channel, we urge you to subscribe. We really would like you to join our family. Our family is growing and we're excited about that. So press that subscribe button. And if you also would press the like button and put down the comments, we'll really appreciate it. But not only that, do check out us on all the podcast channels. If you want to listen to us on audio platforms, we'll be really excited. Do the right thing there as well. Like, and comment, follow and do all the nice things.
Leave a rating, yes, all the nice things. Right. Yes.
And as we go to point number 3, be aware of what you eat. This is a big one for me. And my husband is not even helpful because he loves junk, and he buys the junk and fills it up in our kitchen. Is it cupboards? What do you guys? Cabinets. I call it cupboards. In South Africa, and he call it cabinets, kitchen cabinets, and it's hard to resist when it's there, right? So he's a bad man. It's hard to resist when it's there, but I'm really fighting it off because I see the weight gain, and although we are eating healthy, because we eat strictly organic, and we try to put in a lot of vegetables in our diet, less starch, and more fiber and things like that. But that, and because I am a mental illness
survivor,
I will say warrior, because you never really get over it. It creeps up on you at times when you're going through, like, the stress levels when they're high. It creeps up on you. I do have a bad relationship with food, and I'm not proud of it, because when I'm depressed, I just want to chew on something. It just helps me somehow release something. I just want to chew. And I wish I had a better habit, like running or exercising, but we'll get there someday.
But when you're depressed, that's what happens. Most people that are depressed, they go to food.
Yeah.
Their alternative is food.
Yeah.
Food or sleeping.
Or sex. Yeah. But most people, people do crazy things. I'm not saying sex is crazy. Sex is a good thing. But people do, like, different things to overcome their stress. And I think sex is a good thing because it's good exercise, by the way. So try not to eat. Let's try the sex part. Anyways.
But food though it's not good for, because you gotta understand too. All these different things, these food, the processed foods, it's not healthy for you.
Not just processed foods. Like majority of the mainstream foods.
Yeah, the mainstream is pumped up with hormones. Yeah, and they pumped up with male and female hormones, and so it's so much that your hormones is imbalanced because yes, male and female, we both got male hormones, we both have female hormones. But guess what? If you're women, you only probably have a certain amount of male hormones. And if you're male, you only probably have a certain amount of female hormones. And so if you're getting pumped up with all these different hormones, now your body get confused. And that's why you see too nowadays with children, they feel like, oh, I was born this and I was born this, because these male hormones and these female hormones is confusing the body, and now they thinking and believing that they were born a certain way when it's the food that the parents were
But the interesting part of that as well is that it's been scientifically proven that diet is linked to mental health.
Mental health.
Like we said earlier, that when you're going through something, all you want to do is just eat.
Eat, yes.
It's like a survival mode or something, just to fill up that hole that you might be feeling, and it's really messing you up than helping you.
Yeah, so we're saying be aware of what you eat. Try to have a daily routine of eating good food. Like get your super greens, your super fruits, your super vegetables, greens and seeds and proteins, and exercise. That's a big one too. Yeah. Make sure you get the exercise up, but be aware. Be aware of what you put in your body, because it like I said, it's linked to not just mental illness, but all types of diseases. Yeah. And here's the thing too, like we just mentioned earlier, that our body wants to heal itself. And we can get healed from a lot of different diseases if we just begin to be aware of what we do on a daily basis.
They said you are what you eat.
You are what you eat. If you just be aware of the thing, if we learn how to be aware of what we eat and putting in different things, we can reverse diabetes.
Absolutely.
Now the doctors, and they would never tell you this because that's how they make money. But you can reverse a lot of different diseases if you take care of yourself and you begin to eat better. So we said watch what you eat and begin to have. When you see yourself eating food that's not food, then okay, what's going on here? What's the reason why I'm eating this food? And I like this because somebody said, when you're eating food that's not good for you, begin to have a negative thought towards that food. Yeah. Because a lot of times we look at it as a positive. We like, oh man, that thing hit the spot.
Yeah, like milk and sugar.
Like that thing hit, but don't see it as a positive. Because if we see food that's not good for it as a positive, then we're gonna want more of it. Yeah. But so we associate it in a negative way. Yeah. So that when we see things,
so from now on, when I see chocolates and candy and all those sugar things, I will think of poop.
But you think of what? But you think of high blood pressure, diabetes. You think of all the different things that it could cause you. If you're like, when you see that when you see that food that you shouldn't be eating, you say, you know what? Nah, I can't have that because that could cause diabetes. Absolutely. So you're associated with a negative feeling instead of a positive feeling. Yeah. So that you again, we remember what we said, mindset. We can trick the mindset to believe things that we want to happen. So when we start associating food that we're not supposed to have in a negative way, it start tricking the mindset. Nope, that's not good for you.
Yeah, and I want to end this point by also saying, do take your supplements and your multivitamins, because especially as we age, you know, when you're above 40, a lot of things go wrong. Yes. And the food that we might be ingesting might not be digesting properly or in time, and our body might not be getting what it's supposed to get. Yes. So those supplements just help.
It helps,
you know,
yes.
to supplement whatever that your food is actually not giving you. So as we move on to our next point is that remove yourself from your stinking thinking.
Thinking. That negative thought.
Yeah, and you know, as a mental health warrior, stinking thinking. It comes to you on it's a daily fight.
Yes, it's a daily fight.
And that's why I've reverted to listening to meditation. Like I'm now a meditation addict. I go to bed with it. I wake up with it. I listen to it during the day, while I'm working, while I'm doing. Because if I don't, when I don't on that day, I feel it in my system.
Yes, and it just don't mean it's saying stay away from thinking. So that means whatever have thinking. It could be people that stay away from it. If people are negative, get away from it.
Yeah,
because
those toxic people
yes.
never have nothing nice to say. Negative Nancy. Out. Because guess what? Depression does not only make you, feel bad. It also makes you think bad.
Yes.
You start seeing yourself in a bad way. And listen, let me tell you a little secret. Is that people who go through depression, some of them have they hear voices. And I remember I was at that point. I remember the day that I wanted to kill myself. I was hearing, and it was on my graduation day. I'm walking the stage, and this thing is telling me that how
go home and kill yourself.
Right, and how unworthy I am, and are you getting another degree? How is it gonna help you? Look at you, and that's how I felt. That degree that I got. If you see the pictures, I look so sad. I couldn't even get myself to smile because these things are for real. It's like the devil was talking to me.
Yeah. So you know the way how to counteract that, you speak back to it.
Yeah.
You say, yes, I do deserve it. Oh, yes, I am. Yes.
So what I've learned as a tool,
just speak back to it.
Right, as a tool is that how you react is very important. So every time a negative emotion or feeling come, then you just, like you said, retaliate
with a positive
thought and just try to scrap it out your mind.
Yes.
Because if you dwell in the negative, it's gonna take you out the rest of the day.
Like even when sometimes even when you we upload videos on podcast, sometimes you're gonna get negative thoughts. So what I do is I just respond to it in a positive light.
Yeah.
I look at it in a positive way, and I respond in a positive light regardless. I'm not gonna allow whatever negative thought or they might have about a certain thing. I'm not gonna allow that to bring me down. And kill my vibe.
Cyberbullying is a real thing.
And kill my vibe. I'm not gonna allow you to kill my vibe. So I respond to, because the Bible does say, as a man thinketh, so is he. And so we gotta realize we are what we think, and so
we become what we think.
We become what we think. So it's very true. As a man thinketh, so is he. So if you surround yourself with negative thoughts and negative thinking and
negative people, in negative environments,
negative environment, then guess what? You're gonna be negative. Back to the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you hang around. And so you gotta begin to get away and remove yourself from that stinking thinking environment and people. If they talking like even in the sports realm, they say you don't have to listen to every comment or
because we're not money. If you're not money, not everybody's gonna like you, all right?
Yeah.
Money is the only thing that everybody loves.
Yes.
So if you're not money, then know that you're gonna have haters. So just get over it.
Yes.
Just understand that that's a fact and it's life, right?
Yes.
But I think the takeaway for this point is that change our negative thoughts.
Yes.
Because they can really improve our mood.
Yes, they can.
Or your mood. And if you continue being negative, guess what? Negativity will keep following you.
Yes.
Because you attract who you are.
So stay away.
How you feel. Stay
Remove
away.
yourself.
Stay away. So, our next point, overcoming procrastination. You want to say something on that, mister?
Uh-huh.
You want to say something on that, mister? Because you are
I'm a recovering procrastinator. Recovering procrastinator.
Mr. Recovering Procrastinator, tell us more how we can overcome procrastination.
Yes, because you know what? You only procrastinate of things that you don't like to do.
That's true, but also there are things that you don't like to do that are needed to be done.
And needed to be
so
done.
So how do you do that?
How do you do it, right? And this, I'm telling you, you gotta learn, you gotta adopt delegation, the philosophy of delegation.
But what if you don't have help? Because there are things that needs to be done, and there's just no way to get help, or help is costly and you cannot afford it. But it has to be done. For example, being in a clean environment. If you are if you don't, because what happens is when you procrastinate, there are things that that you just can't do, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have help with that, it then piles up in your mind, and then it weighs you down, because now you're feeling guilty, you're feeling regretful, you're feeling all sorts of things that make the depression even worse. So how do you take control of that? How do you overcome? Because procrastination is a disease.
Yes, it is. It's a disease.
And it's causing death to many dreams and many people who can be successful, but you delay your success.
You delay yourself because you prolong, because of things that you don't like to do. You know, and that's what, you know what, I would say, because if you don't have help and you need to get something done, because you know this is something we learned in business class. You know, when you first start in business, you have to do everything a lot of times when you first start out, because you know the resources is limited. So you got to do everything, even the thing that you don't like to do. And that's why, you know, we take these different classes so that we do have an understanding to do it, even though we don't want to do it. But so I would say you got to start early and start small.
Short-term goals.
Yeah.
You know, so that, because they are achievable, right?
Yeah.
Take things in small chunks. Because I think what happens is we let things pile up. And then once the pile goes up, it's like...
It's overwhelming now.
Right. And we never get ourselves to do it. Like for me with taxes, I hate doing taxes. They just depress me. First of all, I don't really pay no government no money, okay? Second of all, I mean, I just don't understand the tax situation. It's like, who brought in Uncle Sam in the first place? You know, it's not my buddy. So I like enjoying money. I love
when money coming to you.
Yeah, but when I have to pay him back, and because we're in business, in most cases we are paying him. You know, we don't owe. And it's like, do I have to do this?
And that's a procrastination thing. Yeah.
Because, you know, business cannot really operate really well if you don't pay your taxes, because they'll come after your assets, okay? So you gotta pay the tax man.
But here's the thing, I said you have to set a schedule to do different things, small tasks, little by little. Like even like if it's something that you don't like to do, right? And like let's say it's
like the tax man,
like the tax man. So like with we got to do tasks, and we
like the dishes.
we do it. So what I did is. I'm gonna do a little bit this day so that I'm getting it done little by little by little.
And then we have an entire apartment full with receipts. Yeah, okay.
But still, you do a little by little. But I would say set schedules on a daily basis to do, you know, because the thing is, we got 24 hours in a day, right? 24 hours in a day. So what you do is you set time out to do them tasks that you don't like to do. You know, you maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours to do them tasks that you don't like to do, like washing dishes.
Yeah, because really, you know, some symptoms of depression are really fatigue and just difficulty in concentrating and just doing the little things, and it takes us to our next point.
Yes.
In even just taking control of your daily chores. Because that becomes so hard as well. You know, you just want to eat and leave the dishes to pile up, and you take your clothes and you take them off and you throw them there. But that doesn't help, because when you see, like they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. And that's why I am a sucker for cleaning.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for, he tells me, just sit down, it's clean. Like, no, sir, it's not clean. I've got it clean. Unfortunately, I don't have a maid yet. And, I think because I grew up with having help. There was always help in our household. My grandmother always hired somebody to help us. So I'm used to a very clean place. So when I come to the United States and there's no help, I'm the help. So I gotta get off my butt and clean, because I cannot function in a messy place.
Yes, and that's how a lot of times you get the stress, because like they always say, cleanliness is next to godliness. And so a lot of times, you when you're in a dirty environment, you're not just your household dirty, but guess what? Your mind is also dirty. And that's why a lot of times, you are scattered, and maybe you procrastinate because you are in a dirty environment, because you can't take control of your dirty.
A dirty environment, it magnifies your stress.
It magnifies your stress.
I don't know how hoarders do it. I really don't. That's why they depress people.
Yes, that's why they depress people.
I know a hoarder that I live with, who just can't let go of things. And in order for me to actually throw things, I have to do it in his absence. And he finds out like months later, where was this thing? It's gone, babes. It's gone. Because I cannot take all that, but he loves it. So wifeys, get creative. Get creative.
No, don't tell him. No, don't do that.
Get creative.
No. You get that from my mother. Stop that.
Thank you, mommy-in-law.
No.
Giving me tips.
She. That's why she should never talk.
I got it from the right person, my mother-in-law. Anyways, we want to say that
don't do that.
Was powered by
Next Opportunity Window. Yes, this is a great community. This is what we're about. We're about self-improvement and developing ourselves and becoming better. And we say join the community where you're able to maximize your growth in 6 months. This is where growth happens. And how do growth happen? Daily things, right? Quarterly masterminds, monthly webinars, lunch and learns. You have a way to come and learn from other like-minded individuals and be able to share your ideas. And so we get your 14 trial offer to test us out, to see if you like it. If you do, then guess what? That's great. You can take the plunge and either join the monthly subscription or the yearly subscription. And we said, come on board. We love to have you and learn with you.
Check the description box for the link. All right. Yes. So point number 7. We want to say your network can be your greatest strength.
Your greatest strength, your greatest asset.
So build those strong bonds with family and friends who you can rely on. And I always say, it doesn't have to be a whole clan. That one person that you really trust is enough. For you to actually offload to. You need at least one person to offload to that you can trust with your secrets. Not a friend who you will offload to, and then when you break up or you have a fallout, then they will use that as an arsenal. No, stay away from people like that. And you know what? They will show themselves if they like that. So test them with all things. And if you find that they are not telling on you, then that's a friend to trust and to go with. But other than that, build strong bonds with people that you trust.
Yes, and so and when you come to community, this is what the community is about. Because when you could come and you join a force with like-minded individuals, and you are going through issues or when you need something, and you can share your thoughts with other ones without being judged. Because a lot of times when this is how stress happen because you feel like you have no one to go to. You have no one to connect with.
Yes.
You feel like you're not being heard.
Yeah.
And so this is how stress, this is, I believe this is how I became an introvert because I feel like I had no one to go to.
Right.
And so when you can find that supported community, that one person who you can actually begin to vent to, because you need to vent. Everyone needs to vent from time to time.
Right.
You know, you can't bottle nothing within. And just like I told someone, you know, it's okay to cry when you're going through things.
Even men.
Yeah, even men, because men do cry.
And it's okay.
It's okay. You know, don't feel like, oh, I can't. No, it's okay. And you need to let these things out, and you need to have, you know, you need people that's around you that who you could talk to and vent to, so that you can relieve the pressure. Because if you're holding in, you know, you're holding these things in, it just bothers me, and it builds up and makes things more worse, and you fall fall into that deep depression. And so we saying, you know, your network is your greatest strength, and take advantage of your greatest strength. Don't be afraid to go to people for help.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times we're afraid to go to people
ask for help.
For help.
And if all fails, say you don't have the resources to join a network, there are free networks out there. There are free resources out there. But also, if you can't afford a therapist, go see a therapist.
Yes.
You know, it's great for your mindset.
Yes, go see a therapist. Yeah.
And we want to close off this episode by sharing with you some really great tools that you can create to have, they call it a wellness treasure chest.
Treasure chest.
You know, there's a couple of things that you can just do to that make you feel good on days where you're feeling really sloppy and feeling really negative and depressed. So one of the things that I really enjoy is just sitting and watching Netflix back to back, like my favorite things on Netflix, or even just a good movie. That helps me. What are some of the things that they can add into their wellness chest? Cuddle with your loved one.
Cuddle with your loved one. Taking a bubble bath.
That's also a good one. And have some candlelight happening around there.
Yes.
Put some salts in your bath.
Have some nice soft music.
Right. Or just play music that you really enjoy. You know, watch a comedy show. Something that will make you laugh out loud and not make you dwell and think on what you're going through.
Get out, go to the movies, or go to the park, do something.
Take a walk.
Yes.
Because fresh air is the best remedy, right? Or read a good book, or listen to one. If you don't like if you're not the reading type, listen to a good book.
Take a cold shower.
Ooh, I don't think. I would say take a warm shower, because I prefer warm.
Cold, warm shower. Also journal. Meditate.
Journal. Write those things out. Write how you're feeling.
My go-to when I need some encouragement, my go-to is going to the Lord, studying, meditating.
Yeah.
You know, reading my Bible. That's my go-to. My go-to is getting to the presence of the Lord. And so I say, for those individuals who are spiritual, go to the Lord and study your word and Bible.
That's a great go-to. My go-to is talk to my mom. I call that woman up, Mommy. And it's calling a loved one, somebody that you know will not judge you.
That's another one.
Someone that will always want to be listening to you and not care if you're crying and looking ugly and all that. Yeah, and another one is take yourself out.
Take yourself out.
You don't have to wait for someone to take you out. Just take yourself out.
Yes.
Yeah. So we gave you a few tools. Hopefully those will be helpful. And because we just want you to be holistically better.
Yes.
And as we get better, we want you to get better, because we are growing together. So on that note,
hold on. I would like to say, if you enjoyed this episode, we say share it with your friend,
families,
share with someone that
strangers.
can use this word of encouragement. Share with someone, and we say, watch the next episode that we have for you to begin to learn more about your mental health, or to be better individuals.
Right.
Yes.
So on that note, we want to say thank you for watching. See you next time.
See you next week.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.